All right, so now we start with the first step, which is collecting references. This is why I have Google open in front of me. And I will use another software to collect all of these references. It's called PureRef. PureRef. This one, it's really nice. You can copy, paste images directly in the software. And then you have them on the side to quickly reference for whatever it is that you're going to do. So I have PureRef open on my other screen. I'm just stretching here the window of PureRef so you can see it. I have some picture here as a placeholder that I'm going to delete, and I'm moving that back to my other screen. So let's start. I had the idea to do something like Mr. Robot, the room of Mr. Robot. If you're familiar with the series, and I need to find a nice reference of his room and also the objects in that room. So let's try Mr. Robot room. So we can collect a couple of these. I'm just copying and then pasting in my other screen here directly in PureRef. Any picture that I find valuable. So I think doing the corner, this corner here would be nice. So let's find more of that. More of that. Okay, that's that corner there. Oh, look, someone already did something, but from a different corner. I'll copy that as a reference anyway. This is nice, can be useful. Okay, this is good. This lower part is helpful. Okay, the bed is there. I see. It's good. So we are trying to understand how the room looks like and what the crucial pieces, the crucial objects that we need to create the room. So I'm trying different angles here. This, did we copy already? Something similar. Let's copy it anyway. We have this one. This one, do we have it? Yeah, we just copied it, right? Okay, this is close up. Copy pasting that. This is someone else did this in 3D or in Sims or something, it seems. Let's copy that as a reference. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, we can use this. Yeah. That is pretty good. So I think we have enough for now. now I'm just reordering them here in PureRef. I'll show you how I'm doing that here. Here's everything I've collected. And you see I can zoom in and out easily and reorder these, make them bigger, smaller. So this I'm doing with Control-Alt and clicking on the left or right. This is how you zoom in and out. With C, holding C and dragging, you can crop. Control-Z undo. So we can crop parts that we don't need, like this angle here. Oh, I need this top part. Yeah, let's keep that anyway. So what else? What else? Nothing to crop. This is nice to have. Okay, that's enough for now. So I'm just gonna save that and move that back to my other screen. Then when I need more references of the objects inside, I will just I'll just go back and search for more references. So I'm going to close this for now and reopen 3ds Max. So now I'm in perspective mode. Here you can see it. And I think I will reuse this old scene that I have, but don't worry, I will explain everything I have there. Let me just turn on my music here. Okay. So what I have here is this huge plane in the back, because when I'm in camera view, I need to change this as well, 120, 20, 20. So when I'm in camera view and I do a render of the orthographic view, then the background won't be empty, so we will have nice shadows coming from the surrounding objects as well. So if I go to active shade here, continue. So I go in active shade. Here I already have some materials assigned to some of the objects. And you can see now we're rendering with Arnold. I will show you everything step by step that I did there as well, just giving you an idea of what we're doing here. So let's go back to the beginning. The camera. The camera that I'm using here, I'm going back to perspective mode. You see it's from an angle that has the same values for the X, Y, and Z coordinates. That's how you get that orthographic view. So you get an isometric. That's how you do isometric rendering of your models. So this is why these are the same. This is in minus because the angle is from this side. If I do this in plus, you see it's from that side. That's not good. Sorry, 100. Yeah, it's from that side, but we don't want it from there. We want it from this angle. So I'm just going to set it to minus 120. And the objects here, they are in the middle of the scene. So you see they have 0, 0, almost 0 coordinates. So the camera, when set up, it will have a a nice direct view of the whole scene. Okay, so that's the camera. We're gonna reuse that, and I'll just move this in a new layer, and we'll call that camera. If you don't know how to create a camera, you have it here. We're using a target camera here. Okay. You can change some of these settings here, like the type of lens, how you want it to render out the pictures and which angle. But I think just using the defaults does the trick. But of course, feel free to play around with it. This is the most important one. Just keep it orthographic, because that's how we get the isometric feel, the isometric type of render. Okay, and the target is where the camera is pointing. So you can change this, and you see the camera is moving along with the target. It should be in the middle. I moved it a bit up because I was just tweaking the angle on which the render is done. But generally you want to keep it in this area here. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Okay. I'm just looking at my reference. All right. So let's reuse this scene. I will delete or hide many of these things, most of these things, because we're gonna do our scene almost from scratch. This we're not gonna need. Just gonna delete this clock that I did. I'm just gonna delete. Maybe we will need one, but anyway, we need to see how to do that together. So I will delete everything there. This is a map that I used. No, not a map. The periodic system, because this was a chemistry classroom. Deleting that. This board. Deleting table. Maybe we'll reuse these. Can delete these chemical bottles. Books, maybe we will need them. Windows, maybe we'll need them. I will show you how I did everything, don't worry. Chair, we could potentially reuse, and table, so I'm gonna just delete most of them, but not all of them. I'll delete Turbo Smooth. I'm deselecting these objects, deleting the other ones. Also for the boards, deleting them. Books, let's keep some of them, so let's keep this one. I'm just moving them around. You see I have different types. I have an open one, a closed, thin one, and a closed, fatter one. So deleting the rest. And then we have the chairs. Let's delete all the chairs and leave just one of them. Okay. So we're keeping this stuff. Oh, there's another book here. Let's keep that here for now. And then we see if we really need it. So moving this here. These books, let's keep for now. Let's put the stuff that we may need in a different layer. So these are books. Let's create a new layer and let's call it accessory objects. And let's move this one here. That's going to be invisible. This is our heating. The heating. Does he have heating like this? I think he does. Yeah, he does. I'll show you here in my references. Here it is. So maybe we're going to use that. Okay, let's move everything. All of these things into unnecessary objects so we have a clear scene. Also this. Okay, this speaker thing we don't need. Alright, camera, we can hide it for now. So here we are, we have a pretty clear scene now. And we can already start modeling. So what to start with? I'm just looking at the reference here. Okay, let's start with the bigger objects. That's usually a good practice. Let me see. Okay, let's start with the windows because we have some windows created and I think I will reuse them. At least the upper ones. Let's see if we can reuse those. So I'm going to select these windows and I'm going to use isolate selection to see if we can reuse those. So in the reference, this is how they look like. They're pretty simple. We have also this reference here. Yeah, they should go up. So let's do something like this. Let's do something like this. For that, I think I'm just gonna create brand new ones from scratch. So going out of isolation mode, hiding this, and I'm gonna take these, take all of these, move them. Do I have the walls? No. Move them here. I'm gonna duplicate this in case I need it. I'm gonna create a clone. And then make this a regular wall without holes, because this is where we're going to put the bed. So I'm just gonna hide my modifiers. This, I think it's just faster to create a new box. I'm gonna create a box. You can also go here and choose box. We're gonna set the default layer to be this one, box. Okay, so we have a box. Now I'm in top view, rotating this. I mean, enabling snapping here. So when we rotate, it's on iterations of 5 degrees. Now I'm gonna edit poly. I have some modifiers here as shortcuts that you can find here in the list. I just move them here as shortcuts. You can do that here, configure modifier sets. You just drag and drop and press OK. Then you have them saved over there. And I'm collapsing that with right click collapse all. So I have a shortcut for that, but with the mouse you just right click collapse. So I'm gonna move this, and I'm enabling snapping. So you do that here. Snaps to grid points. Vertices, yeah, and pivots, vertices and pivots. So now when we do this, we can do something like this, and we can easily snap this object in. I'm going to select these two. So I snap that there. I'm just making a replication of that wall without the holes, and I think it's faster to do it like this from scratch. Okay. Now from the right or left view, we do that. And we have the wall. From the old wall, I will copy these modifiers and then delete it. So I will just paste the modifiers here. Chamfer needs to be not that strong. So we're setting a chamfer modifier here. You see, chamfer modifier. So then when we apply the turbo smooth, it will have edges that are smooth. So when we do a render, it will look nice. There will be nice reflections there. And I will do a reset X-form, collapse. So all of the modifications that we did on the object will be restored, and it will be considered like a brand new object. So now when we apply these modifiers, we'll get better results here on the edges. So tension, let's decrease the tension. Increase the amount a little bit. Okay. Okay, that's good. So now we have two walls. So I'm going to move this here as just a block out for the wait a second. Yeah. As just a block out for the bed. So we know the bed needs to be here. Okay. This will be the table. Let's move that there. I'm dragging and copying this. I'll delete the modifiers for now because we need the window will be here. So rescaling, we have some window right there. Changing views. I have shortcuts for that. I think they are the default shortcuts in Max. VT is top, VF is front, R is right, for example, and so on and so forth. So V top, V front is and VR, V right are the ones I use the most. Okay, so I'm looking now at my reference for the windows. So we need one big frame. We need one big frame. I'm inverting my selection and I'm deleting, so now we only have a plane. Because then I'll show you why I'm doing this. So I'm going to try to do this frame here of the window, this outside frame. Saving. We're going to do an inset of something like a bit more, something like this, then delete this. Now I use my shell modifier. So we have that frame. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And I'll just copy this element like this for now. Then we have the shell modifier. Great. Now I will go in and create another box because we're creating the frame. Okay. Edit poly, collapse on that. Then moving these around, moving these around. This we're moving. So changing the pivot. So now we can snap to this pivot. Can we do that? Why doesn't it snap? Let's change it only to pivot. See if that helps. Doesn't help. Yes. Okay, I needed to hover on the object. Okay, that's good. Let's give vertices again. Scaling this in. Something like that. And now we need a bigger frame. For that, I'll just duplicate this. Delete the second object. center the pivot. You can do that here. Effect pivot only, center to object, rotate, center it like that, scale out, and then we move these like that, these like that. We're just snapping them. I'm enabling here edge mode, edge faces mode to see it, to see the edges, because it's easier for me to do this snapping. Right, I will just isolate these so it won't have any distractions. Okay. So that. This we need to move in, of course, with the snapping turned off. It protrudes out a bit on the reference. And like this. Well, this one goes even further, like that. And we apply a shell modifier in the different direction. So that's two. I'll just invert the, oh no, that's good. With the shell, we do something like that. We go over that. And this one, we push back in. Something like this. And let's compare. Okay, that's similar to what we're looking for. There's also a little frame. So we need to make a flat frame. For that we expand this. To evenly expand it, we need to reset X form. I have a shortcut for that. Remember, we did that here, reset selected. And now again, okay, let's just scale it out. Now, plane, this search is on X. For me as a shortcut, I think that's the default. 1, edit poly. Now it's a plane. Moving it here, moving it here. Actually, this will stretch differently. It will go like that. Turn off snapping. Here we said we are going to shell. This needs to go in between those. Like that. This needs to be bigger. Like that. Wireframe mode, also here. Wireframe. So I can see how I'm expanding these. Like that. Doesn't need to be too accurate. because it's just covering that area. Rotate. We do individual rotations. Where was that button? Is it this one? Pivot center. Not sure. Not sure if we could do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this one only. Then extrude this. Scale it down so it's a straight line. Like this. Move it to here. To the center. Yes. I'm gonna do the same with this one. Scaling it so it's straight. You can also do it here, make planar. So before it was like this, you can just press this one, and now we just apply symmetry, flip, so we have that, and we collapse it. Okay, we have the basis for the windows. That's good. Now we need to create the shades. I think they're called shades. These here. So to do that, let's just take a box again. Create it like that. Let me see on the reference. Yeah, let's use a box. Let's use a box, make it slim like this, even slimmer from this side. Collapse it, snap to here, snap to here. I have a shortcut for putting my pivot to the middle. We saw that before. It's here. If I pivot only, center to object. And I'm just gonna move it here. In between. So I'm soloing that selection, making it even tighter like that. And now I will I think I will duplicate this to make all of them. So I'm gonna rotate it just a bit, and I will duplicate this like that, and I will say give me 40 copies. Okay, I need more. Duplicate like that. 100 copies. Okay. Now we solo this selection without this and without that. Select these, delete, delete, delete. We don't need those. Yes. Okay. Select everything, deselect that. Okay, we have only the shades. I think they're called shades in English. And we're gonna go to here and then collapse. Collapse selected. Now it's one object. It's an editable mesh. We don't want that. We want an edit poly. With the edit poly modifier. Or you could right click, convert to editable poly. It also does the same. Now I'm moving it in place. So we have our shades there. And I'm gonna select all, move them here, move these here, and then rotate them individually like that, let's say. And on the top part, we have like a fatter part from which they go down. So let's create another box. Oops. Box. Edit poly. Collapse. Moving it there. Moving it there. Making it like that. Centering the pivot. Putting it there. This one there. Scaling it down. Okay. Can move these a little back. Move that. So then we have space for this to be moved back. Duplicating this. Okay. And now we need cylinders to act like the pieces that hold these shades together. So, cylinder. Let's make it no height segments. That means it's just, see if you have more segments. We don't need that because it will be a straight cylinder. Let's make this 32. Edit poly. Scale up. Scale all down. Scale up again. The whole thing down. Something like this. Something like that works. And move it in place. Here. Here. And then duplicating this, putting it there. a bit forward. Yeah, that should be fine. And we put these a bit lower, like this, so they go to the bottom. Lower one. Let's keep it. It's okay. Now we need to put it up a little bit. Okay, this one also. Delete that. Also that. And move these up again. Yeah, we have to do these differently because they don't fit the same way like those do. Alright. Yeah. That's good. So let's consider, for now at least, the windows done. We're gonna need to make a hole here. So let's also clone this one and then start with the hole. Just copy for now. Delete this. Selecting both parts. Inset. Inset like that. Scaling the inset, moving it to here. Delete. Now we select the holes, this hole and this hole. See if we can bridge that. Can we bridge that? Yes, we can. That's good. So now we have all of this. We can move it to a new layer and say Windows new. We select everything there and we put it in the wall. Okay. It looks good for now. Let's see how much we're in the video. Okay, 48 minutes. We can do one more object. Just checking here. What to do next? We can start with the table. Oh wait, here I'm seeing a little mistake. Here, yeah. This should not be visible. Putting it up like that. Okay, now it's good. Let's do the table with the chair. So we can reuse the chair that we had before. We can delete it from here though. Unnecessary chair. Clone. copy, moving it here, boom. So for the chair, I'll isolate it to show you what I did. I think I'm going to reuse it because you see he has a somewhat similar chair here. In his room. So what I did was yes, I used the cylinder for all of these, the wooden part. So what I did, cylinder, I took a cylinder, added double poly, I connected this, invert selection, so now I have only this part, and then I extruded this, and then I mirrored this on the other side, so I got these kind. So after mirroring, okay, I'll just do it. So symmetry, remove this here, flip, shell, turbo smooth, no. I need to do a chamfer first on smooth edges. Okay, let's collapse that first. Collapse all. Convert to editable poly. Reset X form. Chamfer. Lower the amount of chamfering. We say smooth edges, so it does only the edges here that don't have a smoothing group. And then you can do a turbo smooth, so you get something like that. So this is how I did these. The cloth part, this is the same like the wooden part. This cloth part, I just took a plane and I used a shell modifier on it, and that's it. And I put it in place. So that's how the chair was done. Putting it there. Should be bigger. Affecting the pivot here. Remember, affect pivot only. So now I'm moving the pivot to be on the bottom of the chair. Stopping that, so I can now easily put that here. Moving up all of this. Okay. All right. We have the chair. We can put some placeholders for the screens before we call this done. This first part done. Let's move that in the middle. Let's move that in the middle. Comma. Affect pivot only. Okay. Move it up. put some screens. We can just reuse this. Rotate. Rotate. Go out. Go in. Where did it go? Putting the pivot in the middle. And moving it close to the table. Scaling it down. That's one screen. Floating for now. Here's another screen. Floating. So we have the two screens. We have the chair. Table, he seems to have a very simple table. So I'm going to reuse the table as well from my previous project. Did we have tables there? Yes, we did. Is it this one? No. Oh, here it is. Clone, copy, up here. Let's reuse it for now. I think I'm gonna move this down. I want to reset the pivot. Okay, that's all right. Then snapping off. Move this here. Delete this one. Scale it down a bit. Okay. I'll just add a turbo smooth modifier so it looks nicer. Then we have the computer. Let's do a block out. Just need a box for that. He has this little shelf next to him. Where he keeps the computer. Let's see if we can reuse this one here. Rotate 90 degrees. Scale down. It's too small. Scaling that like that. All right. Seems to be to go like this and like this. Yeah, it looks like drawers, but this is this is good. This is fine. We can reuse that. So just a quick explanation of how this is done. This is extremely simple. These are all boxes. So see, box, 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 box. Everything is a box. Just scaled down, duplicated, with the chamfer applied on it. To chamfer, you use either the modifier, or if you're in edit mode, you select the edges. For example, this one, and you go here to chamfer, and you can chamfer that. So the edges on regular boxes were chamfered. So then when you apply a turbo smooth, you get this smooth result, and that's all it is to it. Now we're going to put a box as a placeholder for his computer. Just moving the pivot so I can easily manipulate that, scaling it like this. So now we have his PC right next to him. Now we see that that should be a bit bigger. Changing the pivot, increasing the size. Increasing the size, moving it here. We'll put some more things here. Okay, I see in a different picture now. These aren't really shelves. These are really drawers. They are drawers. So in the next video we can continue with that. We can create some. We can create the bed. The heating. We need, okay, there's some bookshelves on the walls. There's a lamp. Yeah, there's plenty to do. Now I'm just mentioning the bigger objects, but we will have afterwards some smaller objects that take a lot of time to do, even though they're small, but they bring a lot of, and they're very significant to the whole scene. So we get that nice look that we're trying to achieve. Okay. So that's enough for today. In the next video, I will continue with the modeling. We will create more objects and we take it from there. See you in the next video.